What sort of armor do you wear with a kilt? What armor would be considered formal with a kilt? Formal armor.
Formal armor with a kilt. You're the formal armor foremost expert, Erik. Why don't you handle this one?
I was planning to. Thank you for the question, whoever asked it. I'm gonna try and do this without being insulting in any way at all. But you're proceeding from a little bit of a misconception. There is really not a precedent for wearing armor with a kilt. Now,
Or formal.
Or formal. I'm sorry. If you're talking about,
We're not insulting at all.
If you're talking about,
at you.
all right. If you're talking about the Ren Fair, if you're talking about LARPing, if you're talking about a con
fantasy
or
type
fantasy
stuff.
type thing, then go for it, dude. Be the Highlander Skyrim, monster fighter you always wanted to be, and slap on the giant anime type pauldrons and everything with the spikes. Go for it. Enjoy it. Doesn't matter. There's no rules. There's no rules because there is no precedent for wearing armor with kilts. This gets back to the misconception that kilts have a documentable history earlier than the 16th century. There's various speculations that you'll find on the kilt there being evidence for the kilt in the pre-16th century period. It's very tenuous at best, and a lot of the time people are conflating references to Irish Gaelic dress, like the lenia, as opposed to a kilt. Okay, the earliest mentions are to something like a mantle, which might be a great kilt. The point being, by the time that we have confirmation that guys are wearing kilts, which is the tail end of the 16th century and into the 17th century, people aren't wearing armor. Wealthy guys might be wearing some armor. You'll still have chest plates with spalders and maybe a morion helmet and such early. Like think like Conquistador up through English Civil War. Most guys are not necessarily in armor because armor is freaking expensive. It's for officers, and there's no evidence at all of any Scots wearing a kilt with armor. If you look at the earliest lithograph we have of kilts, there's one image, 16th century image, early 17th century image of a guy in a kilt, and exactly one, probably from being in Ireland, okay? And then by 1641, you have a very famous lithograph of these Scottish mercenaries in the lowlands. And there's 4 of them. No doubt you guys have seen the image. There's 4 of these guys. They've got weapons. They've got kilts. They're not wearing armor, okay? You didn't wear armor. You know why? Because of guns. Armor does not stop a bullet. People have tried, but for the most part, it's not worth it. It doesn't work that well. So in that lithograph, I think some people will confuse that one of the guys looks like he's wearing a breastplate, but it's a doublet. It is a 17th century doublet. You can tell if you look at the details on the shoulders. So, yeah, there is no such thing as wearing armor with a kilt. Sorry. Now, the one exception would be if you're talking about ceremonial armor, like a gorget in an 18th century or 19th century military uniform, where the gorget, which is a piece of armor which was shrunk down to become basically a necklace as a rank insignia. That's it.
I'm going to disagree with you.
Oh, geez, here we go.
There is historical precedent
Okay.
for people wearing armor with a kilt.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
3 numbers.
I'm listening.
501st. The Kilted Stormtrooper Brigade.
Yes.
There are kilted stormtroopers in armor in kilts.
Serve the Empire. Put on a kilt. Okay. Yep. Didn't I preface this by saying
I have bested you, sir. Good day.
Good day. Good day, sir.
I said good day.
Although Aaron on Twitch
Twitch.
does say if Erik does not show up in the next video wearing formal armor, he quits.
Oh. Careful what you wish for.
Just the helmet.
Oh, I've got a helmet.
Okay.
You want me in a helmet on the show? I've got a helmet.
See now I want to wreck your and/or Coraline's next 2 weeks and come up with the best formal armor outfit that you guys have to put together.
I've seen plenty of fantastical stuff that's done that looks freaking awesome. It's just not a
Yeah,
historical.
it looks
it's not
fun.
It's not a historical
different,
thing.
but it's not historical. Correct.
Yeah, I mean, again, if it's a fantasy wedding, a goth wedding, LARP event, something like that, and you want to have your best formal armor.
If you're a
with
Jedi
kilt,
marrying a clone, it's okay.
yeah,
You
it's
can
all
do
good. It's all fine, you know. Yeah, but it's not part of history. Okay.
We have too
Now,
much
being
fun.
in the SCA, I have seen people who wear kilts because it's the Middle Ages as you wanted it to be sometimes, depending on who you're playing with, depending on the attitude of the people you play with. So they will have kilts, even though they know it's not strictly a medieval garment or a documentable medieval garment, or they'll have armor and they'll incorporate some tartan in it. That's them having fun. It's also the Braveheart effect. We talk about the Peaky Blinders effect. Well, the Braveheart effect led to a lot of misconceptions. Okay, just a few, just a few.
2 or
And
3.
one of them is the idea of these guys, these medieval warriors in tartan. You know, Highlander did it too. You know, where the main character's got the sort of barbarian-like armor in 16th century Scotland. You know, but
Yes. Highlanders
that question broke me.
in Stormtrooper
That's the
armor.
first time a question has broken me. That question broke me. Yeah, so thanks for watching that video. If you're curious about Celtic history, check out the playlist over here. Or if you want to know the history of Renaissance fairs, check this video out. As always, whether you're armored or not, we appreciate a like and a subscribe. Wherever you go in your kilt and your armor, be safe, friends.